Yo, what's going on, guys? Is this on? Hello? This is a speedrun marathon, right? I guess we're gonna showcase a rhythm game. Yeah, it's not a speedrun, but it's fun. It's fun. That's what this is about, right? My name's daaanty. This is StepManiaX. I am joined today by two awesome people. One, Sigma. Say hi.
Some.
And Clearmouse. Clearmouse, say hi.
What's up? I was just following Sigma because he didn't also say hi, so I decided to, just go with my co-com.
Totally fair. Sigma is a content creator for this game, makes some of the step charts you're going to be seeing today. Clearmouse is a commentator who I wanted to have her in here. You've probably seen her doing a Link to the Past randomizer commentary. She's really good at it, and she's good at asking questions about this. So let's get this show on the road. Sigma, you want to explain what wild mode is for everybody?
Yeah, so on singles in this game, and that is a game mode that is with one pad. There are 4 difficulties, and the hardest one is called Wild, and that is the difficulty we will be playing most of the charts on today. There will be a few times we'll be playing full charts, which is when he'll be using both the pads. But first off, we're going to start off with a classic that if you are from the classic DDR community and played DDR Extreme back in the day, you probably remember this song very well.
Now, Sigma, daaanty said earlier that this is a speedrunning marathon, and he said that this isn't quite a speedrun, but, when you talk about wild difficulty, and you see how fast the arrows hit the top of the screen, I would beg to differ that this is actually a speedrun. And the fact that daaanty's going to be able to get through all of this, basically almost flawlessly, is it's going to be quite the treat for us to see.
Yeah, daaanty, as of today, is currently the world-ranked #1 player for this game with the highest overall score on all the wild charts. Yes.
Holy cow, dude! This, okay, so daaanty actually recently won a Link to the Past main tournament, so he's already VIP here of the SpeedGaming channels. You did not tell me now the VIP status just grows better, because daaanty is actually a world record holder in this game as well. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You guys crack me up.
Well, hopefully you're still, good for concentration, because these arrows are kind of flying at the top of the screen pretty quickly. And the fact that you actually see that daaanty's combo meter keeps rising, hasn't been broken yet, means that daaanty is actually very accurate when stepping on all these arrows. Actually, Sigma, what is the accuracy like wiggle room, I guess? Like, do you have to step on them like frame perfectly?
Yeah, so if you want to get the highest grade for the arrow that you step on, you want to step when the arrow lines up on the middle line at the top, and the window on each side is roughly 20 milliseconds, so you have a 40 millisecond space to get that perfect score on each arrow.
Do you? I thought it was just straight 20.
No. Whenever you talk about the timing windows in StepMania, it's always in halves.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so is doing math safe on stream? Because I have been warned multiple times that math could be very questionable and not objective sometimes when you do it live.
Math is hard. Math is hard. You guys crack me up, though. I love you guys.
Alright, so Sigma, you also said that this is actually kind of similar to DDR. So I know that, for those who, DDR has, a pretty big name, right? And DDR is typically just 4 arrows, right? Just, up, down, left, right ones. But in this case, StepManiaX has this, central one. So, is there a sense for, I guess, how much adjustment you kind of, need to do in order to just basically make sure you also hit the center one as well?
Yeah, so obviously if you have previous experience in DDR, you will adjust to this game fairly quickly, but what will make things better is if you had also played Pump It Up in the past, which also utilizes a center arrow. So, you can use your reading ability from both of those games and, adjust to this game fairly quickly.
Isn't Pump It Up, all, the diagonal directions as well, in addition to the center one? That seems much more intense, I guess, or involved.
Yes, and given how long Pump It Up has been out, it is a far more intense game, but that's just the nature of Pump It Up.
Okay, so in DDR, typically speaking, you can also just hit the arrows, but you can also hit like the top line, even when like the arrows aren't like hitting the top screen. Is that different here in StepManiaX? Like, do you have to be exact? You have to be exact. You like can't hit anything extra, basically.
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely add nodes when there's no arrows on the screen, and that is a technique called ghost stepping. It's when you add extra nodes to keep yourself on beat. So, but yeah, you don't get penalized for it. The only games that do stuff like that are games like 2DX, where if you hit it really early, you'll get like an extra mash miss or something.
Okay. So actually, so speaking of misses or lack of misses, because daaanty is so good that he hasn't actually given us any opportunity to even say anything about misses. daaanty, congratulations! Holy cow, man!
This wasn't a part of the script.
I thought this was a scripted speedrun. daaanty, is this the script that everyone has to adhere to?
It's the script. You just get a perfect score in one take. I honestly wasn't. I wanted to do that, but I felt like it was kind of a stretch goal to do it in a marathon.
Okay, so daaanty, this is the second song of the set of like 20 songs. So he has set the bar at perfect with
right,
2
well,
exclamation marks.
all
So
downhill.
beyond there, it only goes uphill from there.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here, but we're gonna
I
crank
said
it up.
uphill.
Well, it's all downhill. We're gonna crank it up though. We're gonna show you guys full mode.
Okay, so as we were saying, it's all uphill from here. daaanty was only on the left side of the dance pad, in this case, for Wild, and something about full where daaanty might be kind of shifting Sigma, something like this.
10 whole arrows.
Yeah,
10
whole arrows and 2 pads.
Okay, so this level of map is safe, right?
Yes.
So, for full mode, Sigma, is it intended actually for one person to be doing this, or is it actually like you're supposed to have 2 people? Because like the way that you see daaanty move, kind of from like side to side, it actually looks somewhat like, it actually looks very fluid, right? As in like, I mean, once you kind of like understand like, I guess the charts of practice a bit, like
Yeah,
you don't
so,
really see anything too awkward.
Yeah, so when you're playing full mode, the charts are designed in such a way that one person can do them. However, we do have an extra mode that comes after full, and it's called Team. And it is a mode where both players will play on each side, but the arrows will be color-coded to the player, and the arrows will sometimes make you switch sides and go back and forth and do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Whoa. In team mode, you actually have 2 people that have to switch sides? Are you serious?
Yes.
Is that possible on a dance pad like this?
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's not even just side to side. Sometimes the player will have to go off on the side of the pad and walk all the way around to the other side to continue their part of the chart.
How the heck are you supposed to do this? That sounds insane. Also, while keeping your feet, right? Because you have to be pretty fast. You can also tell that daaanty is, well, I mean, not only is he very well practiced, but the fact that he hasn't even broke combo yet. Like, you also do see that he knows how to move, right? Like, there are going to be instances where I think daaanty, like, has to kind of stretch in order to hit, like, the far right and left ones, but all of his movements, are basically, like, planned, right? And because his movements look so fluid, basically going from, like, side to side.
We're trying to keep it as fluid as we possibly can, just to make it smooth. But as you can probably tell, I'm a little winded. So cranking things up. So we're going to go back to Wild for a bit, though. This next song is really good. The chart's really ambitious. So I hope you guys like this next one.
Yeah.
So Sigma actually noticed that there was an early, like, for once, so daaanty was able to show us a bit more content on his charts. What does actually early in this case mean?
Early means that you basically hit it, far enough beyond the perfect window, but like still within the window of you hitting it, because if you went farther than an early, you'd get a miss.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that in order you have a 20 millisecond window, I guess, to hit the note perfectly. So then like early is like 40 or something like that beyond that?
So the regular perfect window, I believe, is 40 milliseconds, and then I think beyond that, it's a fairly large number, like 150 to 200.
Oh, wow, okay. Maybe not that it'll make too big of a difference because they're kind of flying pretty quickly here.
This chart that Dante's playing right now is one of our boss songs in the game. You're going to see a lot of very, very technical patterns coming. Patterns that make him hit 2 arrows with 1 feet like he just did. And then you're also going to see patterns where he's going to be switching both feet on a single arrow to hit a jack like what you just saw there.
Okay. I also do see things that look like bombs. Does that mean that you basically can't hit those, like, when they come up? They
are called mines. The whole point of them is to just avoid them.
Okay, so actually, like, so when you actually, as a content, like, whatever, the map creator, do you actually, like, purposely put them in to try and trip players up, or are they just kind of there to make sure that you kind of stay on more rhythm? Or maybe
they are. So they are used for a couple different kind of reasons. For example, in team charts, they're actually used to signify when to move to one direction or the other. But when you're doing just like single-player technical charts like this, we do put them in place to trip people up or signal when a foot switch is coming. Or, if we decide that we want to tell people that a foot switch is coming.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it actually can be informative based on where the mines are. It's not necessarily just something that could be used to kind of like trip up the player.
Yes.
There's a lot in that trips you up. As we saw, it happens. Can't be
Still
perfect,
got a 99 though.
Yeah, we did.
Do I have a moment to break in here, guys?
We do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, looking at Dancy, even though he is pretty fit, right, because he can get through this whole set in an hour, I'm sure he wouldn't mind a water or air break.
So we have a $20 donation from Fear Agent for the incentive, who says, I love to see Dante flex the guns. Normally it's when pressing the buttons in rando, but I also enjoy the dancing flex as well. Hashtag blame Dante.
Dude, can you imagine if, like, rando could be part of StepManiaX? Like, think about, like, you just randomize, like, the arrows. Wouldn't that be fun, Dante? I think that'd be a great incentive. What do you guys
think? There is a rhythm game for that, and it's brutal.
Oh, man. All right, so let's...
there goes my $1 million idea. Thanks, Sigma.
Thank you for contributing to that. We're going to move to a song that is really hype. It's from an old In the Groove game, but this is a remix for it. Sigma can kind of talk about that a little bit, but this is a really fun chart, too.
So, Initial P is an artist that has appeared in a few other dance games in the past, and it's really nice that we got this remix. So My Life is So Crazy. The original version of this song came from In the Groove 2 back in 2004. And, as this game is based heavily on the In the Groove song list, some of the songs that made a return came in the form of remixes as opposed to just a different cut of the song. So, and I think this remix is amazing. But this chart is really difficult, and this slowdown right here is very difficult to read.
It's really hard.
So actually, these songs can, like, change tempo, like, in the middle? That's intentional?
Yes. Some songs in this game have scripted speed changes that go with the tempo of the song. And, sometimes they're nice and honest, and they're not that bad to hit, but sometimes we put them in the game to trip people up.
Is that the remix part of the song? That's why you can make remixes and then basically control the tempo, like, as a content creator or as a map creator?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, so you actually did also mention that a lot of the songs, I guess, in StepManiaX are based from In the Groove. So, in the group, they also only had 4 arrows, like no center square, right? What the heck is Dante doing? Like, what the heck is so you actually see that, like, there's, like, this basically smorgasbord, I guess, of arrows and dots, like, flying across the screen, but Dante, like, his movements on this feed are pretty dang wonderful. He's actually, like, not only, like, very accurate, but he's also just, like, very low, right? So he actually has a lot of time basically just trying to control his movements.
This is what, 16, 17 years of dance gameplay looks like. You get very smooth, very nice, consistent form.
Amazing performance.
Amazing performance, Dante.
Sometimes when I'm
not going to let a bot take over my job, by the way, yeah.
When I feel down, you can always touch the stars in the announcer, which, if you haven't recognized him, he's the old Disney Channel announcer. He gives you some encouragement.
Star.
Like, I enjoy being called a star every once in a while.
You are a diamond, Dante. You have VIP status on the SpeedGaming channels, so... I guess we're gonna have to work our way up to stars in this case.
So, next song here, and I'm sorry I started all the preview music. I think you guys may know this song. Maybe. Most speedrunners know this song.
I even
the people that
heard.
speedrun it.
Yeah, I even heard this game mentioned in one of the Link to the Past commentaries actually earlier.
Cool.
Ready. Begin.
So actually, is this song also from is this song also DDR or group group? Yeah, like do you have to know?
So there is a different remix of this song that is available on Groove Coaster and a couple other rhythm games that I can't think of off the top of my head. But this particular remix of the song is exclusive to StepManiaX.
Okay, like it seems like that there's actually a lot of overlap then, like between StepManiaX, Pump It Up, like DDR, like whatever other variants. Like the bass songs all seem very common, but I guess like, there must be a lot of remixes though, like for each different version.
Yes.
Do you have a sense? Let's see for this particular song. Like so, StepManiaX has a specific difficulty, right? Wild, I forget quite the number, but like. How does it actually compare, I guess, to like DDR or like Pump It Up, like in terms of the same song?
So, as a frame of reference, StepManiaX's rating system is based somewhat loosely off the traditional dance game scale from the old days, so like old DDR and In the Groove. And the number that we use for this is double the number, and the reason why we double the number is so that we can have a 0.5 difficulty for each one. So 21, for example, is a 10.5. But the difficulty goes all the way up to 28, and that would round out to be around like an old 14, which was probably just like a little bit harder than what the hardest In the Groove charts were.
Okay, right. So like so that means like compared to DDR, like because DDR is measured in feet, right? But you said this is points, so basically feet are points.
Yeah, the name of the points doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, just like Whose Line? Got it. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's cool that that's in here. Next one, we're just gonna go into it, keep the train rolling. It's another banger. I tried to pick everything that just sounds really good. I guess get the Sour Pleases and the Cat Jams in chat.
Honestly, you could probably just random.org a song list every time you do one of these, and like it would always be good. There's like no bad songs in this game.
Ready.
Yeah, all of these songs also not only are pretty cool to listen to, they also seem to have actually pretty good meaning, right? I mean, normally, like when you're doing kind of like rhythm games, you really want to be able to try and like ground yourself, like to a specific like tempo, right? These also songs are fun, as daaanty has said at the very beginning. Man, actually, just even looking at this chart, this actually does look fun. I guess, like, so it seems to me there might be, maybe, I don't know, like different, I want to say, like, styles of charts. So, like, sometimes you get maybe more air, sometimes you get more jumps, sometimes you get more combos. Like, this one seems to, at least it seems like there are more, I guess, like, different, like, whatever, streams, I guess, of steps, right?
Yeah, the ideas that go behind writing in rhythm games is a very deep rabbit hole. But generally, people who have been involved in the games a really long time have a general sense for like how intense something should be based on how the song feels, or just like what the game needs in terms of overall difficulty. And we definitely aim for the more fun factor when it comes to the difficult charts, because yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the screen, but you know these charts are made very carefully so that you can flow through it and do a very good job on them through just intuition.
So, when you actually create a chart like this, do you actually have, like, dance testers, I guess? Or, sorry, step testers? I don't want to infringe on any copyrights here.
Yeah, so on top of the fact that we all use our own dance pads to play test them, we have our own QA division. We have our own, we have people that look it over, and then we make sure that it goes through a couple of weeks of looking over and testing before we bring it out to the public. We have a high standard of quality for this game.
Yeah, no, that's actually really great to hear.
So, I'm kind of catching that we're really close to that incentive, and you talked about how most of the songs we want to keep on the easier fun side. If we hit that incentive, you're going to see a song that is, I'm sorry, not fun. It's actually
not fun for you or not fun for us, Dante? We're the ones watching you.
It'll be fun for chat, I promise.
Okay, well then we should really get that incentive met because we only care about our entertainment, and you are here for it, Dante. You need to earn your star here.
I'm gonna probably hate myself after this one because this one's tough. Big tough.
Light up the bumblebee, Dante. Maybe you can get wings out of this.
I'm gonna need wings. All right.
Let's see what you can do.
I hope I can do well. We'll see. It's kind of a toss-up.
Are you ready? Begin.
Just based on the song, Sigma, you did say that the song is potentially fun, but I do feel like there might be lots of strings here for in terms of arrow combinations.
Yes.
100 combo.
What do the green checkmarks mean, out of curiosity, Sigma, as Dante decides to basically pound down as a bumblebee would for these dance paths?
Yeah. Yeah, as he started to trail, I didn't actually hear what you said. What did you ask?
Oh, no, I was just wondering if what those green check marks mean, as opposed to, like, normally you don't see anything, like, when you hit a note, right? But every once in a while you see that green check mark?
Yeah, so those check marks come after a mine or a hold or a roll resolves and you do it correctly. You just get a check mark saying, hey, you did it.
Oh, so I get instant validation, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
In addition to a ton of just numbers flying up. It's like a graph that only goes up and never comes down. It's almost as if we're investing in stocks or something, and we're just going to the moon.
900 combo. Perfect combo.
That one's tough. That one's real tough.
You don't make it look tough, Dante. This is the problem. Like, we're trying to take you at your word, but like you keep getting these like ridiculous combinations.
Yeah, and you're just casually 99ing at 25 on stream.
So,
sheesh.
Well, we're getting into what I call the meat and potatoes part of the run, where things are going to get a little tricky, get a little hard, and this is kind of the beginning of it. So, the next song's kind of fun. Background video is really good. The song's really fun. I'll be able to breathe again one day, I promise.
You're gonna need the next
Don't we all wish we could talk to dolphins?
Yeah. I wish we could.
What do you think they would tell us if we could talk to dolphins? Like, what would we ask them? Hey,
We
dolphin?
would talk to them in electro swing.
They would talk to us in this song.
I mean, but like, it's like dolphins can't even play StepManiaX, right? I mean, they don't really have any feet, I guess, but I guess they have
drive
fins.
cars.
Yeah. Well, if they're looking for a game for 2 inputs, they can play Muse Dash.
So I guess actually even looking at the dance pad, I do see like pads that are in the diagonal cardinal directions, like northwest or southeast and stuff. So can you actually use these pads to also play other games like Buffalo? Or is this kind of like an exclusive StepManiaX type of?
Oh, okay.
kind of
So
pads?
yeah, so those panels on the corners are just for displaying extra lights, and they don't have any input assigned to them. But you actually can purchase additional panels and convert them to be either a pump it up style pad with the 5, or you can have all 9 of them and use them for like a piece of software like Rhythm Horizon, which uses all 9 arrows.
Dante makes this look so easy. I think this is probably one of his like cooldown song, so he has a break basically between like the last song that he did and like the next set of songs he's going to do.
You know, you're totally right. You're absolutely right.
It's almost as if you planned this. Full combo, daaanty, all uphill from here, right? That's what we said?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep.
That was great.
It was great. The announcer, I talked about him earlier, and I haven't heard it yet. He's got some crazy things he says when you start songs. My favorite is, "It's time to kick the tires and light the fires." Hopefully we get to hear that in the marathon, but it's random, so who knows? So I'm gonna jinx myself here. The next song, I've got world record on, but it's one perfect. As you can see my score down there as a 99984.
Okay.
But we're gonna try and do it live.
Doing it live has never gone wrong, daaanty. We believe in you.
Yeah, this is one of the few songs that has not received a perfect score yet in this game. And that's just for singles. On doubles, I would say only about a third of the game has a perfect score.
Oh yeah, actually, so you talked about singles versus doubles, but then there's also, I guess, like wild and full and team. Like, are those like the same thing?
Yeah, so wild is for singles, and full is for doubles. And that's just to refer to singles being one pad, doubles being two pads.
Oh,
and then team is two pads, but done with two people.
Got it. Okay, so the classification for single versus doubles is just the number of pads, as opposed to the number of people. That is a good distinction.
Yes.
Good thing these pads aren't like that intelligent, because you know they can only send steps and not actually like the number of people in this case.
So daaanty said things were going uphill. Speaking of uphill, we have a donation from Jen041 for $8 that just says, "Please point this toward whatever incentive daaanty has going." And with that, we have met the donation.
Oh, that means we get to end
That's
the stream.
awesome! Holy cow! Thanks, Jem! And Fear, that is awesome. So now daaanty gets to dance to the max something, 428, something like that, at the end of our stream.
Yep, max 428 is the one level 27 that we have in the game for wild mode, and that is how we'll be ending the stream.
Aren't you glad to hear that, daaanty? That your loyal supporters, Fear Agent and Gem041, are so supportive of you that they want to see you dance to the maximum of your ability.
I am thrilled that we want to see chaos on pads. So, thank you guys.
daaanty, chaos is in DDR.
It is.
Oh no, I'm
Nice.
reading it now.
Nice rhythm game joke. Let's get into a cooldown. Just a small one. But speaking of DDR, Sigma could probably talk a little bit about this and how this kind of goes back to DDR.
Yep. So, speaking of DDR, this song he's about to play is a spiritual sequel to the classic Before You, which first appeared, I believe, in DDR 4th Mix, and it also was in Beatmania 2DX as well.
Did you say spiritual sequel? What makes this a spiritual sequel as opposed to a remix sequel or just a regular sequel?
If you get a sequel for a song from another game, you would just call it more a spiritual sequel, because a true sequel would happen in the game that it came from.
Ah, okay. Actually, is the creator or like author, artist of the song, I guess just exclusive to StepManiaX, or do you know if this author like basically does just like one version song that everyone can kind of like use it and do like remixes and stuff?
Yeah, so Naoki over the last 30 years has worked for many different companies that publish rhythm games. He's worked with Capcom. He's obviously worked with Konami because of DDR, and he's also done work with Sega as well. So all of the songs that Naoki's been making for StepManiaX belong to StepManiaX. And some of these songs are also carryover from the last mobile game Naoki was working on, Seven's Code.
Nice. That is it 30 years? That is actually a really long time here in the dancing game industry.
Yeah, Naoki is basically one of the music game godfathers in terms of making music. He's been around since the beginning. Good job.
Nice job, daaanty. Way to dance for two people, but really just one.
Yeah. So guys, again, thank you for meeting that incentive. I hope you guys are going to enjoy that in a bit. But I got to shout out SpeedGaming. 1, for letting us be here. 2, for doing this marathon and this big tournament. It's awesome. It was fun in 2019. We could do it in person. And I'm really looking forward to all the hard work everyone puts in so we can get back in 2022. So really looking forward to that, hoping for it. But for now, we're going to get ready, I guess, with the donations for this marathon for 2022. So I felt like I had to say that before I lost all my breath, which is about to happen.
You can keep stalling, by the way, if you really want to break. We won't judge you for wanting to take like another 10 to 15 seconds or something.
Nah, we got this. Let's go.
Okay. Select options.
So this is probably the hardest thing I'm going to play on full mode. We'll see how it goes. It's a doozy. But 25, I might have to really try.
Let's see the energy.
I believe in you, man.
Yeah. Okay, so Sigma, he said that this is actually one of the hardest songs. How does one judge the difficulty of a chart?
So, like I mentioned before, the numbered scale is based loosely off what the old classic DDR and in the GRU scale was, but the number is multiplied times 2. So we had already had a starting point from there to judge how hard charts appear when we're making them. So a lot of it just comes from just the experience we have from spending years writing the charts, that we can just have a general idea. And anyone who is a veteran in the dance game world, who's been playing for several years, can also just kind of look at a chart and just say, oh, that's this number,
Okay, so it's actually not as I guess I would say as objective maybe, because you do have a lot of people who are play testing it, step testing it, so then they get a kind of a sense of okay, based on everything else that we already have in terms of difficulty, you can kind of place it, I guess, relatively speaking.
Yeah, and then on top of that, each rhythm game's rating system is ultimately specific to the game. So the number only means ultimately what we refer to inside the game. So we say this is a 25, and then as we go up and down in the total note count and how crazy the patterns are, then that's how we judge the number ultimately.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, if you have songs like this that are exclusive to StepManiaX, right? You don't really have another DDR pump it up version that you kind of compare it to, right? So if you, of course, you create a new map, or especially for an exclusive song, then you kind of have to be able to at least somewhat objectively put it somewhere in terms of difficulty, right?
Yeah, that's right. Often between rhythm game players, you'll hear arguments about something being misrated. I'm guilty
Arguments?
of that. Yeah.
About things that are misrated based on subjective calls? Man, I've never heard of this at all, daaanty. What kind of community is this?
Never, not once. But yeah. Spy, we got any announcements while I get a little bit of water here?
Not for their donations, but don't forget, we still have the marathons running until Tuesday night, and don't forget, we have literal days worth of races set up for the tournaments that are going on for SpeedGaming Live. If something on SpeedGaming 1 isn't what you want to watch, I can almost guarantee there's going to be something on 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 6 to watch over the next few days while we wrap this up.
Oh yeah, SpeedGaming's been popping. It's been popping this weekend. It's been great too. A lot of content to watch.
Yeah, SGL has been great so far. Actually, so Sigma and maybe daaanty. So I do notice that there is a Bob and Yoshi at the bottom left corner of the screen. Any history or lore? Because I also do see that every once in a while, when you start a song, there's also a QR code.
Yeah. So This game is very unique in that it displays a QR code on the screen for you to scan your score. And the reason is because in many countries in the world, there are national laws in place in terms of data transmission with someone's device, you know, for anyone who's under the age of 13. So what StepManiaX does to adhere to those regulations is by just putting the QR code on the screen, and if, you know, whoever scans it, you know, they scan it and they can take the score that way. But because of that, daaanty puts the Yoshi on the screen to make sure that no one can hijack his QR codes while he's playing.
He's my protector. He keeps my scores safe. My Groovin' Yoshi. But let's see if we can get a good score on, or let's see if we actually have any rhythm for this next one. Fracas and Darwin, always good.
Selection. Are you ready for this one?
I forgot that you got a perfect score on this. You're the only person to get an APC on this.
All the more reason why that Boppin' Yoshi is there as daaanty's protector, because we gotta protect all these gems and stars, so daaanty can keep his world record.
Look at those crispy rolls.
Actually, yeah, do you mind actually explaining what a roll is, Sigma?
Well, so a roll can mean two different things when it comes to dance games. Rolls in this case are when you're just rolling two arrows, you know, back and forth at the same time. Another way you can call them is ladders. But rolls are also a note type in this game, and those are the like greenish hold notes that you have to tap multiple times.
Oh, okay, alright, cool. Actually, is there also any difference between the colors, I guess, of the arrows? Because every once in a while you'll see like different colors. Are they just mainly there to like help steppers, in this case, kind of like differentiate the notes, or are they actually have like a meaning?
Yeah, so almost all dance games have a color-coded setting for their arrows. This is to help tell the rhythm of the note. So a red is a quarter note, a blue is an eighth note, a yellow is a 16th, and then so on.
Whoa, that is clever. That actually is a really nice visual cue then, in order to be able to like, basically kind of like get back on tempo or keep your tempo.
Yeah, so you combine the colors with what you see on the screen with the rhythm of the song, and once you get good enough at combining the two, that's how you get good scores.
He's right. He's right. I mean, it's a lot of trial and error with trying to learn how stuff is synced versus like audibly versus visually. And yeah, you kind of get there along the way. Speaking of visual play, I'm going to be doing that here for this next one. So this next one has quite a few gradual speed ups. You've seen the charts change tempo, slow down, get faster. Well, this one gradually gets faster. It's kind of obnoxious, but it's fun.
So for these, for some of these songs, like how, I guess, like, so as you get more, I guess, experience with, you know, StepManiaX or like other dance games, like when you end up like sight reading a song, is it mainly just based on experience, or do you actually kind of have to like know the song? I guess
it depends. It depends what the song is doing. If you know, if a song doesn't have a lot of speed changes, generally in terms of dance games, you can go through a chart with mostly intuition, and then you're obviously going to score better as you play it more. It is possible to get a perfect score on a song blind, and it is something that I've seen daaanty do before, and every time I've just lost it.
It's pretty
okay,
rare.
So basically, like, as daaanty practices all of these songs, he's going to develop some intuition or instincts, and then basically apply that instinct later for future songs that he hasn't seen.
Yeah. Yep. And so you just gotta remember, there's 5 inputs on the screen, and there's only so many different combinations that we can make a player move when we write these charts. And so the more you play, the more you get better at just doing these specific motions, and then you get good at pattern after pattern after pattern, and eventually you just get to be able to play the game purely on just what you see on the screen.
So are there common, I guess, like step streams or combinations of steps? Like, yeah, I guess are really popular, like among like different songs?
So, as you watch Dante's feet go through these patterns, you notice that he can do them with one left foot, one right foot, and working himself back and forth. That's that flow that I was talking about earlier when we were discussing chart creation. So because of that, there's only so many different combinations that we'll use on a regular basis. And after you play for a while, certain patterns start becoming more familiar, and then you get to be able to play like this.
Yeah, I feel like, at least, so Dante obviously makes this look very, very easy, as easy, never mind, as easy as it's gonna be, because you just see, like, random arrows basically looks like just fly across the screen. But, like, how much of this is muscle memory for you, Dante? Versus, just kind of like, you still have to react to some of these.
So I am reacting, but I do have a little bit of, like, mental and physical condition to know what I need to do next. Like, I have familiarity with pretty much every song in the game now. But I don't have them memorized. I don't have a memory that is that good. So that's, unfortunate. We're gonna move to our last full mode song of the day.
Select another song.
And you've probably heard this before too.
Yeah, because classical songs are usually IP free, it's very common to see classical remixes of songs in rhythm games.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so actually, then I assume that like this song has remixes also in like DDR and like Pump It Up and.
Yes. What was the remix for this one in Pump It Up? It's been a while since I've heard that one.
No idea.
I would like a bow and arrow. Are there Lambos in this game? Out of curiosity.
Are there what?
Are there giant worms? So Dante also plays Link to the Past, right? And the bow and arrow, I guess, is a very popular item that I guess you get pretty early on in the game. So it's really cool, I guess, boss skill if you do with the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So actually, as a map creator, Sigma. So what happens in this case if like someone else also wants to submit like a remix? Like an existing song or a new song, like is there also like another vetting process in this case? Because you only want like one version of a remix, or are there kind of like multiple remixes of the same version?
There is a separate team that handles all of the music licensing and ultimately deciding what submissions get selected. We do have a public submission form that you can access on StepManiaX.com. And if you have a song suggestion that you'd like to see in the game, you can go there and fill out the form just saying, hey, this is the song that I heard from here. I think it would be a good fit for the game.
Okay, so there are actually separate map creators then, basically, for submitted songs or like song suggestions.
No, there is a step team and they do all the stepping for the stuff, but there's a separate division for people who just make sure that we get the songs licensed.
Ah, gotcha.
I'll take it.
X-Star.
I'll take
it's a very good
it.
score.
Yeah. It looks pretty good, Dante. I don't think we've actually even seen a late from you, actually, from all of these songs. I think we've seen a couple early, seen a couple misses, we've seen tons of perfect with 2 exclamation marks.
I mean, when you've got
you gonna show us a late?
you're gonna go fast, which is good for speedrunning, not good for precision sometimes, as we've seen. But we're doing our best. We'll make it happen. So I'm gonna kind of maybe blow you guys' minds with this one. That's kind of a big assumption on my part, but we're gonna do something to make the arrows get a little crazy. There's a pretty easy pattern or way to look at the screen and see what you're looking for, but yeah, hopefully you guys at least find this next one entertaining.
You've been assuming that you haven't blown our minds already?
I mean, I doubt it.
I'm pretty sure the rate that you can hit those arrows is pretty dang impressive.
All right, so this is another DDR throwback song that made it into this game. And I'm gonna make sure I pick the right modifiers for this. So the arrows are gonna be doing some crazy stuff. Maybe you'll be able to see and pick up on the pattern. I kind of expect everybody to be able to at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, so for the people in the audience that feel a sense of nostalgia for these songs like Senorita and Cartoon Heroes are from a album series from the early 2000s called Dance Mania. So, if you just search this song and add Dance Mania to it, you'll probably be able to find a mixed or longer version of this song that you can just listen to in your own time.
Actually, so speaking of, if I really actually like some of these songs, do I actually need to, I guess go, like, can I just kind of practice on my own without kind of initially investing into, like, an extremely impressive looking dance pad like the Daaanty has? Because it looks like it used to play for quite some time.
Yeah, so, the barrier of entry to dance games is unfortunately expensive if you want to do it, with some, and do it right. Because there are the soft pads from the PlayStation 1 and 2 days, but, as full-grown adults and we're trying to step like, what Daanty's doing on one of those, we'll tear apart one of those pads in like an hour. So...
That is certainly true. Given how much Daaanty is holding on and his strength basically for how he's doing for tapping, yes, I can certainly understand. By the way, Daaanty, was that also from muscle memory? Like all the arrows basically just like rotating and being kind of trippy?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the secret to that.
Wow, that was great.
The secret to that is that obviously the arrows are in columns. I normally try to read arrows in their columns more so than the direction that they're pointing. So I know roughly where they're going to be. Also kind of like looking near the bottom, they kind of bunch up before they go real fast. And that's kind of the looking point, we'll call it. But yeah, we got a couple more before we show you guys the incentive that you guys were so gracious to me.
So to change, I guess, the visual effects of the arrows coming at you, is that something that is available on every song? Like, is it something that you can just automatically apply, or is it kind of like more custom to individual songs?
Yeah, Daaanty has the menu on the screen so you can see.
So what I had turned on was called Beat, Dizzy, and Wave. So Beat makes the arrows kind of bounce left and right. Dizzy makes them spin, as you kind of saw. It's hard to see in this preview window right here. And Wave kind of makes them speed up and slow down as they're coming up. So anyway, this next song is one of my favorites. I'll be totally honest. I put this in here as the chance to get 100 on something, and I did that earlier. So this song's a banger, though. So I hope you guys like this one.
Let's see what you've got.
Alright, how about hear me out for next year? We'll get Crowd Control to sponsor StepManiaX, and then we can try and flip like Daanty's pads and notes and rotate them. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. I think adding mods as a donation incentive would be really funny.
Fun for us, by the way. Daaanty, you are here as our guinea pug, so, so long as we give you money, I feel like you could be a good sport about things.
I'll figure a way, one way or another.
So actually, you see that also Daaanty, like, is able to basically use the bar, right, to kind of hold on and keep his balance, and his feet are also really low to the pads. Like, I feel like that actually gives him a lot better accuracy control, and also you get a lot more time, basically, right, to keep moving, and basically make the next set of steps.
Yeah,
so, like,
when you're doing charts like this, every millisecond of your movement matters. So if you can get your form to a place where you can play, flat-footed and minimize the amount of time you're going up and down, and that's the kind of thing that helps you increase your speed and also increase your consistency.
We did it. We didn't get a perfect score, but we did really good.
So 99955 looks pretty dang good. Actually, speaking of high scores, like, so every song is out of 100,000. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Different step counts, different hold counts with the freezes or those rolls that we talked about. That's what those check marks are over on the side. Obviously, combos vary as well. But yeah, 100,000 is basically like 100%. You can look at those first two numbers, or the first three if you have 100, as your percentage. And then the comma you could replace with a decimal, and that's one way of looking at it, I guess. So the mastermind behind this game is Kyle Ward, and he also has a few aliases that he writes music under. One of them being Smiley, as you see the little smiley face here for Destiny. Also, you probably saw KAW when I did In the Hall of the Mountain King. But yeah, this is a really good good chart, good song. I can talk, I promise. It's all right.
So long as you keep stepping, we're all good. that is what we're here for.
Yeah, let's see how we can do here. This one starts out really fast, like you're really angry and typing on a keyboard or something.
Angry keyboard typing. You might be in the wrong community. What the heck is this, Daaanty? People actually play without holding up the bar, Sigma? Like, I mean, not like casually, sure, but like at this level for like Wild and like Full, like, is it actually, I guess, like possible to do?
It's
that would
possible.
Be really,
it's certainly
really
possible,
worried, right? About
and
like,
depending on the person you ask, using the bar is either a preference or something you shouldn't do. But all high-level dance gameplay is done with using the bar, and people who play for no bar usually do either for fitness reasons or just to give themselves that additional challenge.
I really hope there aren't actually serious injuries, that come from, let's say, like losing the balance or, falling off. Like, what Daaanty was just doing, I don't feel like you can actually do very well if you don't actually have some sort of thing that you're holding on to keep the balance.
There are people in our community that play no bar full time though, and those people are exceptional.
Wow. All right. I guess there's no like separate category for these things, right? As in like the leaderboard is just basically one set of leaderboards. There's no like bar versus no bar type of thing.
Right. Because there's no real way to like actually track such a thing. So no bar play is a pure like personal challenge kind of thing.
Clear Mouse, do you want to see a no bar attempt on a song?
I would love to, Daaanty. Is this something that you have planned?
No.
Or is this going to be an impromptu treat for us?
We've got time.
Daaanty is so fast at stepping that we can even have bonus content here at the very end.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way.
Hey, can you do gargoyle no bar?
No, I'm not doing gargoyle no bar.
I was just trying to think of, and that has like it's a lot of stream, but at least it's like simple stream. But yeah,
we'll do something nice and simple.
Nice and simple. So nice and simple Daaanty standards, or nice and simple, StepManiaX, like, casual standard. Whoa, we got some real stuff in here. That is awesome.
Yeah, you don't really see it so much these days, but a lot of us that were playing back in the early 2000s, a lot of us started playing no bar because, back in like 2000, people thought you weren't supposed to play with the bar. So,
I still think that, by the way. I guess I'm more of a casual player, but I guess with competitive, you always just see like all these VODs, right, about people just hanging on to that bar, and I just always felt like that was like the norm for the competitive scene.
Another skill that a lot of us older guys have is the ability to read really slow. So I bet that Daaanty could do this no bar, but probably with like a quarter of the speed.
I could.
Oh, I see. Like,
but it wouldn't be
the
good.
speed at which like the notes are coming at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
Or,
So
like actual tempo change.
No, what I mean is actually like making it so the notes scroll a lot slower up the screen, because you can make it really slow to a point where it's actually more challenging than playing like this.
Oh, okay. Because like the slower the notes scroll up, I guess, like the less I guess you have time to like judge how fast they're coming at you.
No, it's more that like it'll help you over anticipate and hit things early, and
I
that's
see,
what.
I see.
So keeping yourself calm and collected and hitting that same rhythm, even though it looks so much like more squished on the screen, is the challenge.
Nice. Okay, so no tilt while we're playing songs, and yeah, sounds like great tournament experience here, Daaanty.
It is.
That was amazing, by the way, that you did all this with no bar. That's awesome to see.
To be 100% honest, the hardest part of that was just mentally knowing I couldn't reach back and touch the bar because it's just like ingrained as a habit. It's like holding a
You don't
controller.
need the safety net, as you've just proven to us, that you are free to actually, I don't know, wave, I guess. Maybe there should be like a wave plus StepManiaX or something like that, since you can free up your hands and arms now.
Oh, you know what that reminded me think of? The PS2 iToy games that have the actual like hand waving thing as an arrow.
You have like the motion sensors, right? Like you actually can see like where your hands are supposed to go. Nice.
So I do want to plug this. I know it's late in the run, but if you guys have been watching the light patterns in the pads, the devs do a crazy ton of work, which is one thing I love about this game. Basically, each game or each song has its own custom light panel. Kind of behind me, there's this thing that's normally some lights that are on the back of the monitor. I have found a way to kind of extend that off of there so it's visible on stream. But all of it's custom. It's done by the devs. Like it's hooked into the game. It's what I love about it. It's just really flashy, you know? It gets everybody's attention. But this song really unique. If you notice the old Nintendo Power font there. I don't know the official font name, but you know, that's what I call it at least. It's just super good, super good. I hope you guys like this.
That's a great selection.
It is.
I think this is probably my favorite song in the game. It is. It's just
Oh,
so
really?
perfect.
Nice.
I vibe with this song so hard.
So, like, what makes a song so good? I mean, is it just like another? It must be like a good banger track. Like, is it good, like fun to play, charting? Is it difficult? Is it like to get a lot of airtime?
So there's nothing difficult about the chart, you know, if you're used to this kind of difficulty. But the thing is just like I have a big personal thing for trance music, and trance music in rhythm games is probably one of the best experiences you can have, probably in video games. Period. Just because it's like the perfect BPM. It's not too slow. It's not too fast. It's groovy, and if you go with it, it's just so much fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, like the fact that. The notes actually look like they're also a lot of fun, like movement-wise too, right?
Yes.
So actually, like you mentioned this about the trance song. So the background, is that customizable, or is that just like is like as a map creator? Like, do you also do the background stuff as well in addition to the notes?
There are two people that are assigned to do all of the original videos, and every single song, on top of having custom light patterns on the pads, also have original videos.
You said two people are in charge of this entire ordeal. Really?
There's a lot of there's a lot of work that goes into each of these songs beyond just the chart.
So I guess how often or how long does it take to, I guess, like go from like a song suggestion, like, or to whatever decision, like we're gonna do the song, to release, basically? Do you have a sense of that, or does it kind of depend on the song?
It really depends on, like, how much you're trying to add to the game at a certain time, or just do we need music? So and since that's just handled by a different team, I don't really have much of a say in like how often music comes in. So it just whenever.
With this being like a licensed game, it's not like StepMania, which is an open source thing where people can just take any audio file and make a step chart for people to play. This is, since it's licensed, it has to go through all the legal channels. So sometimes it could be really quick for new content to come into the game, from the idea to implementation, and sometimes it's much longer. But we do get monthly updates, like 5 to 10 songs every month. It's really good. But we're getting near the end, and I definitely don't want to run over. So I guess since we met the donation incentive, you guys, I guess, rip me here in a second, and maybe rip your ears. I don't really know if you can call this a song, but it's definitely the hardest song on Wild. So
yeah, this is a very, very difficult song, and Daaanty, do you currently hold the world record for this?
I do not. I have a 91. The record is a 92.
Yeah, most of the rest of the game at least has at least a 96 or 97. I believe this is the only chart in the game where the world record is still under 95%.
That is not okay. So when you guys release, or when these songs are released, do we know if it's humanly possible to actually full clear like the song?
Maybe.
Or is it more of a good luck? Let's see what people can do type of thing.
Yeah, it's more, well, obviously, since we playtest them before we get started, we put them out to the public, they're always going to be humanly possible. But that's also based on our context of what we've seen people do in the past. It's always up to the person if it's possible for them.
All right,
But there is a record of somebody like actually getting 100% of this.
No.
No, okay.
This is the one song I do think it is impossible right now. It's going to be way, way off. But anyway, sorry for the delay. I had to get some dust on my shoes so I can maybe slide my feet faster. Because anyway, you guys enjoy. We're going to pull Ped, as they say in A Link to the Past.
These are like the subtleties of like basically having like a controller cam, right? But in this case, it's a dance pad cam. You guys basically get to see like what the little things that kind of help out your dexterity in this case for stepping. Dante's doing a pretty good job so far.
I usually don't see him combo this far, and it's nice.
Oh my gosh, there's tempo change here too?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
And there's a stop coming too.
Stuff like this, like, do you just have to kind of like play the song a lot to kind of know, like, when tempos changes are coming or like stops are coming or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah, we have these yellow bars that show up behind the chart when you're playing to tell you when there's a speed change coming.
Oh, all of these things are so subtle. It's really easy, I guess, to get lost in all of the arrows just flying at you. Like, it's really hard to do with parsing. But I guess maybe that just comes with more experience.
Alright. I want to see if he gets like close to the world record here because he's doing really good right now.
Oh, heck yeah.
No world record, but we passed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that left green bar, that pretty much stayed green the entire time. I forgot it was even there. That was actually like a life bar, right? You just happen to like never lose any health, basically, or misses.
So, that's correct. But in the interest of others, thank you guys. We're over. I'm sorry. But yeah, this was super fun. Thank you so much, SpeedGaming, for letting me do this. It was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sigma, Clear Mouse, anything you guys want to say in closing really quick?
Thank you, Daisy.
Thank you. And I just want to say good job on that 90%. That's really good. And also thank you, SpeedGaming, for letting us come on and talk about StepManiaX for an hour.
Well, based on chat, that was a banger for everyone involved.
I don't even know if the song. I don't even think the song's that great. But if chat enjoyed it, that's what's important. Get those donations in. Let's make SpeedGaming Live 2022 a great success.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to you being able to do this in a live event, like for real. It's supposed to, I guess, unless the live event has like your garage basically transplanted over, we would really like to see this on the main stage.
We'll figure a way. Thank you guys again. I'll turn it back over to SpeedGaming.
Alrighty, chat. Get your congrats, your GGs, whatever you have in there for Dante, because I don't know about him, but I want to go take a nap, and I wasn't doing anything. We are getting set up for our next game, which is going to be Super Mario 64, 16-star. And I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce that right, but that's going to be with Session. I'll get with them real quick before I keep saying it. Don't forget, if you're not interested in keeping watch with the marathon. Every other channel, we've got tournament races going on, but definitely Speed Gaming 2 is where you're going to go for the rest of the marathon during the odd hours when tournament races aren't going up. We do have many prizes still up for grabs. Most of them are parlors, but we have a whole bunch of options for those. Anything from Mega Man 5, Hollow Knight, Super Metroid, even Hello Kitty, which honestly, that sounds pretty hecky cute. But we are going to go ahead and get this switched over for our next game. We'll be right back.